the lights are coming on now. So we've got Reza starting in pole position on the left-hand side. Mick Sutton on the right-hand side there. Everyone once again gets away quite well. You can see Robbie Stapleton with the lights on already. He means business. Mick's not got a great start there. Reza's pulled a little gap already. And it looks like that's that's Jacob on the left-hand side up the inside. And also George and Marcel around the outside there as well. Alex Sprange on the outside going round on Damien and Jeremy. And that's Marcel and Jacob, I think, that was caused collision there. Jacob and Maximilian were all caught up with Marcel, so that's such a shame. Marcel dropping down the order there. We've got Reza still out in front, as we can see going through. Damien and Jeremy have started to make their way through. Robbie's also made his way through. He's got ahead of Alex already. And there's some contact there. That's Mick Sutton. Get caught up, and Luke as well, I think, and Ricardo Spratt was involved there. Luke and Mick, I think, were the cause of the crash there, and Jacob as well. So it's all kicking off a little bit as we're cutting through the field. Marcel's dropped well behind, and Alex is going up the inside of Mick. Can he make it? No, he can't. So it's there's a little bit of contact going on as Mick runs wide there again, and I don't know if he collected. Don't think he collected Max as he went through, but Reza's making the most once again of all of this, and he's managed to stay out in front, but George is right behind him, going through the back sector here. Alex has made his way through the field as well, and we can see Reza slowly falling down. I think he must have run wide there, and that's George Grundon out in front with Jeremy and Damien right behind him. So what a fantastic start for those two. They've managed to get themselves up into third and fourth. And they'll want to try and build a gap as quickly as they can to try and get away from Robbie. Mick Sutton's unfortunately dropped all the way down to last position, so he's probably got some damage on that, as well as Marcel. So there's a little bit of door banging between Damien and Reza. Reza one's wide after that. Damien's got the inside line. Reza's still got second, but Jeremy is right behind Reza. He has to come out to try and get past him on the outside, but it allows Damien to go through on the inside here as well. So let's see how this pans out. But George Grundon is through into the lead, and there's 3 cars going across second. Robbie Stayford on the outside there in race 1. And there's a little bit of collision there between Jeremy and Reza. Oh, Reza's taken both of them out and takes himself out along the way. That's really such a shame. It almost cuts across there and takes out Max as well. So a little bit of door banging there, and that's such a shame for Damien there. It looked like it could have been a fantastic 2 races for him again. So George Grundon is out in front still, and Reza's dropped all the way down to 11th position as well. So Jeremy is going to make the most of this after a solid first race of 4th position. So Ricardo Spratt's up into 3rd. Alex is in 4th position. And Ricardo, as you can see, is all over the back of Jeremy, and I'm sure Ricardo's not hoping that he's going to be stuck behind another car for the whole race. So Jacob is managing to stay in 5th position. Robbie Stapleton is up to 6th place, so not quite made his way through as quickly as others, but crucially he's ahead of Alex, who is he's not. He's catching up. He's got to catch up to Alex, who's 2nd in the championship. But there's plenty of time for Robbie to make the move, as Jacob runs wide there, and as you can see how much time you lose as you get dragged into that gravel. So Robbie Stapleton moves up into a nice easy 5th position there. You can just see in the mirror there Jacob hanging around the outside, but I think he's decided to pull it off as he actually runs wide, and his teammate Max almost tries to get past him as well. So George Grundon's got a great lead, a 2.2 second lead already, so he's really making the most of what's going on. Jeremy as well has got 3 temps ahead of Ricardo, so that's going to be a very, very close battle with Alex and Robbie behind as well. So these guys need to figure out what they want to do. The longer these 2 battle is going to draw Alex and Robbie in to the frame. Being realistic, I don't think Jacob's got the pace, as Max actually goes up past him now as well. So I think Robbie in 5th position is going to open that buffer up from 6th position, so it'll be a top 5 battle for the lead, as the teammates almost come together there with a bit of door banging, and everyone crosses the line and sets their fastest lap. Reza's come into the pit, so it looks like he did have damage after that collision with Damien and Jeremy early on. The fastest lap of the race so far is George Grundon at 2 minutes 0.3. Ricardo Spratt is close to that, who's in 3rd position, so he got a great tow, which really gives you a few extra tenths coming through the start-finish line. It's all very close here from second, third, and fourth and fifth. And this is what we saw at Brands Hatch last week, where everyone was battling and allowed Alex to get a very comfortable lead. And although we didn't see Robbie come through the field and close it down, you didn't know that at the time. So George is really making the most of this. He qualified in second, so he has got the pace. So every lap that he can and push and extend this lead, as Alex runs wide there, runs wide and loses the position to Robbie. So that's probably the easiest overtaken for Robbie that he's going to have today. I'm sure Alex will be disappointed in that, to let his championship rival through that easy. So Luke Weston is on the back of Jacob. Luke was slightly faster than Jacob in the first race, finishing ahead of him, so I'm sure Luke will want to try and catch up. I think what we need to watch and keep a track on is how quickly and how fast Damien can make his way through the field. Hope he hasn't got damage. His last lap was a 2 minutes 11, so he was on board. If we jump on board with Damien, we'll be able to see which way his steering wheel's pointing. That is often an indicator as to if there's any damage. As you can see, it's not quite straight. There is a little bit of a left movement there, but that shouldn't lose him too much time, as we're on board with the driver cam or helmet cam, which is a great position here. So let's see what the steering wheel is. As I say, it's okay. It's straight, so he hasn't got any front damage to that car, so he shouldn't lose too much time. As Ricardo's trying to move around the outside of Jeremy, and Jeremy holds that position going up into turn one. So Ricardo once again is battling with another car, and I'm sure we'll learn all of Jeremy's moves and strengths and weaknesses by the end of this, as he does run a little bit wide there. Fastest lap at the moment is George Grundon with a 2:03, so there's a little bit of time in this. Robbie Stapleford's fastest lap is 2:05 as well, so he's not clearing through the field as quickly as what you might have expected, and I think that shows you how even this field is. When you're out in front, as George is demonstrating, you've got clean track, you can focus on everything that you're doing yourself, and you can really pull a gap. And when you are stuck in traffic, it can slow you down a little bit. So Damien Hall, his last lap was a 2:07, so he's back on the gap. He's got 5 seconds behind Luke, so let's see how quickly that can change. Last lap Damien was 2 seconds faster than Luke, Jacob and Max in front. Alex sprained as well, but I think Alex ran wide, so that'll be why he's a little bit slower that last lap. The drivers are coming through to the last, they're in the last sector now, so we'll be able to see what they've done this lap around, but the gap is stayed consistent, 2.7 seconds from first to second. Robbie has now closed in on Ricardo, so Ricardo's in that position again of trying to do attack and defend. I mean, he wants to try and get past Jeremy as quickly as he can, but he doesn't want to lose track position to Robbie. As soon as Robbie gets past you, you would think that he will be able to pull away. So the longer that Ricardo can keep him behind and potentially allow Alex to get back up as well and change Robbie's driving position. So Robbie goes across the line and sets the fastest lap with a 1:59.9. He's got a lovely toe up the inside of Robbie. Is he going to go up there? Sorry, Ricardo. He does get it up. A little bit of contact there as they cut back. Think he's going to keep that position though. So a great move from Robbie. He really used the toe to his effect there, and as we can see, apart from turn one, which Robbie mentioned, is that it's probably the only realistic overtaking place on this track after a long toe down that straight. So let's see what Robbie can do now. Robbie set the fastest lap, as I said, last lap, so he was half a second quicker than George. The gap from Jeremy to George is 2.7 seconds, and Robbie has got a second to Jeremy, so all in all just over 3.5 seconds from Robbie to the leader. So Ricardo will want to try and keep pace with Robbie. He want to keep him in his mirrors. You want to make sure that Robbie doesn't allow himself to open up and carry on his normal racing style. You want him to look to have to defend wherever possible, and that will of course slow Robbie down. So Damien Hall is he's 3 seconds behind Luke now, so he's catching up. Luke last lap around again, he was 1.8 seconds faster than Luke in front, and 1.2 seconds faster than Jacob and Max. So realistically, looking at the lap times that Damien's doing, and with the time left, he could probably, I would say, get into top 6 position, which will be a good recovery drive from him. given everything that went on. So George has opened the gap a little bit more to Jeremy in 2.9 seconds. Robbie has closed the gap very, very quickly to Jeremy out front, but Ricciardo's still around. Robbie's got the lights on. He means business. You can see a little bit of a gap when they change gears, but he's got a great run now up the inside of Jeremy. They're side by side. Jeremy's going to try and hang it around the outside. Can he do so? Yes, he can. A little bit of door banging, and he's done really well there, Jeremy. So Jeremy will have the inside line here, and will be able to keep Robbie behind him for potentially another lap. So Jeremy, all he needs to do that is he just needs to repeat that every time for the next 9 minutes, and he'll be able to keep Robbie behind him. They do seem to be relatively similar paced in terms of speed throughout the rest of the lap. There is no obvious position that we've seen following these two where Robbie is on the back bumper. As I say that, he gets ever so close there as Jeremy makes a very, very small mistake. So this is allowing George to get away. The gap's over 3 seconds now, 3.2 seconds. So Robbie will want to try and get past George and make it stick as quickly as he can. George will see this battling going on, and we'll be hoping that Jeremy can keep him behind as long as possible, as there's a little bit of a lock break there from Jeremy as he's pushing to defend hard and maximising his braking position, and he's really having to defend now, and Robbie's all over it. As we can see, Ricciardo has closed up that gap very, very quickly over those last few corners where Jeremy had made those mistakes. Even Alex has been able to close that gap to the front as well. So Alex is now 1.2 seconds behind Ricciardo. Ricciardo takes a big chunk of the curb on the inside there, kicks up a lot of dust. So George has got a gap to 3.3 seconds now, so it's eking it out ever so slowly. Robbie runs a little bit deep there, tries to cut back, and has got a great run. You could already see how close he is coming out the inside, so I don't know if Jeremy's going to be able to hold him back this time round. He's got a good run. The gap is closing ever so quickly here. Jeremy's gone very, very defensive on the inside, even taking to almost crossing the pit lane white line to try and hold that position. So Robbie going around the outside again. Jeremy keeps the position and closes it off as well, so it doesn't allow Robbie to have the inside line to the reverse. They do actually touch there. Robbie was further alongside than I think Jeremy thought, so Jeremy, when he went to cover the inside, banged doors with Robbie, and that's really, really allowed Ricciardo back on the bumper of Robbie now. So Robbie is trying to, as you can see, he's now defending from Ricciardo rather than attacking Jeremy. And this again is allowing Alex to close in. The gap from George is 4.2 seconds now to Jeremy as well. So he's gained nearly a second last lap around. So George, I'm sure, is absolutely loving this. And the longer this goes on, the time is going to eke down. And if Robbie's only half a second a lap faster than George, with 6 minutes to go, he's going to be very, very close as he goes up the inside here. This isn't really an overtaking place. As you can see, ever so slight contact that upsets Robbie's car. The back end snaps a little bit, but he's managed to not hit Jeremy there. So Jeremy's been able to keep second position. Ricciardo is all over the back of Robbie now, and Ricciardo can smell blood, as can Alex as well. So this is second to fifth is all over second position. Ricciardo looking around the outside now as Robbie slowly eases off the steering to force him a little bit wide. As we're coming through the last few corners here, which Robbie won't be able to attack quite as much as he did last lap round. He'll be able to get a toe off Jeremy, but Ricciardo and Alex will also be getting a toe off him. So it's not going to be clean sailing for Robbie from now on. The gap to second position from first is 4.3 seconds and growing as well. So George has broken the toe from Jeremy, and there's no toe being received there. So unfortunately for Jeremy, he's out front, and is given the toe for everyone else. As Robbie goes up the inside through the pit lane there, he's able to do that. He crosses the white line, and Damien Hall in 8th position has passed Luke there. Robbie has got the inside but runs deep as well and allows Jeremy back through. Fantastic racing once again. It's all happening at the first corner. Ricciardo has dropped off ever so slightly there, and Alex has been able to catch up with Ricciardo. So it's a second separates the top second to fifth there. Damien Hall up into 8th position, as I just mentioned. Damien's flying a 2:08 last lap around, another 8 seconds faster than Jacob and Max in front of him. Robbie still has the fastest lap of the race in 3rd position. He is the only driver to get into the 59s this lap around. George Grundon is consistent laps. His last lap was a 2:07, whereas Jeremy's was a 2:01.6. So he was able to pull out 9/10 of a second last lap around. Robbie Stapleford in 3rd position, Ricardo Spratt in 4th, and Alex Sprange in 5th. As Jeremy gets a little bit of a wiggle on, he loses a lot of time there, but Robbie's playing it safe. Although he's got the inside line coming through the second part of the S, and he's been able to get through and make it stick as well. Now, can Ricardo capitalise as well? He's got a good run on Jeremy, as I think there was a little bit of contact there, but Jeremy keeps it up the inside, but runs a little bit deep and allows Ricardo up on the inside. But it looks like Robbie's been able to get that 2nd position and is now broken free, and it'll be, let's see if Jeremy can make the most of that toe for the start-finish straight. But now Jeremy's got to look in his mirrors to defend from Ricardo and Alex as well as trying to keep tabs with Robbie. So they are very, very close coming out of the last corner. Robbie said that he found a little bit of time through that coming out of the last corner, so that might be his little secret. And George Grundon sets his fastest lap of the race. Now, can Jeremy keep... Oh, so Jeremy's got a great run here. He's going to do the reverse of what Robbie's been doing to him for the last few laps. Jeremy goes round the outside, brakes late. You can see the front of the nose of the car hit the floor, and there's a little bit of contact as Alex gets up into 3rd position as well. Ricardo and Alex battling around. Fantastic racing. Ricardo will have the inside line and will be able to keep that 4th position from Alex, but Alex isn't quite given up yet. He tried to hang it around the outside, but got run off wide by Ricardo. That's dropped Ricardo and Alex back a little bit, but Jeremy is not giving up from Robbie. He is all over the back of him, and this is allowing George to extend his lead even further. He's now nearly 5 seconds faster. 5 seconds clear of Robbie in 2nd position, as Jeremy slightly drops back now. And Ricardo and Alex up still battling for 4th position. So these guys need to sort themselves out to try. And as Ricardo runs wide, they need to try and work together to try and close in on Jeremy, because these two battling will allow Jeremy to keep that 3rd position. And Alex is looking up the inside. Is this an overtaking move? It is. Yes, this is what we saw Ricardo do. But because it's another hairpin, another chicane, Ricardo can hang it around the outside and keep that position. Alex is moving across, weaving left and right to try and put Ricardo off. And there's a little bit of a nudge there as well for good measure. But this is so Alex has forced Ricardo a little bit wide. Alex has backed off just to allow Ricardo to keep that position. But Robbie Stapleford has got the gap down to 3.8 seconds, so he's taken nearly a second out in that last half of the lap already. So that's a very, very good pace from Robbie there. We'll see what the lap times are as they cross the line. But Alex is all over the back now of Ricardo, and can he get a good slipstream on him and overtake him like we saw last lap around, and will Alex be able to keep it? Alex has gone nice and early with his move up the inside. He's got to be careful not to go on the grass, because that will lose him a little bit of time. As he goes up the inside, can he keep it? It's all about the breaking point here. Ricardo's trying to keep it around the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to. No, Alex closes that off nice and early. And that's good move racing there. And Alex takes 4th position, and we'll keep it. Jeremy and... Oh, here we are. So Damien's caught Max and Jacob very, very quickly here. So they are battling, the two teammates are battling, look like they're holding each other up. Last lap, Damien was once again faster than the other two drivers. So Damien's all over the back of him. He'll want to get past these as quick as they can to try and recoup as many championship points as possible. With Robbie Stapleford not winning at the moment, that will help him. Although Robbie does have the fastest lap, which will give him an extra point. So Damien's looking here. What to do with Jacob. Jacob's looking in his mirrors. You'll be able to see that he's taking a very defensive line, which slows everyone down and will allow Luke to catch up to this group as well. So where can Damien make the move? He's keeping track. He'll keep it close here as Jacob runs wide. It opens the door a little bit for Damien, and Alex runs wide. Jacob runs wide again. So he's making a few mistakes here, feeling the pressure from Damien behind him. So Damien will try and keep it close and make a move up going into turn 1. So last lap around, I mentioned that Robbie had closed the gap quite a bit. It's down to 2.5 seconds now, with I would say George hasn't got time to finish this lap. So this will be the penultimate lap. Last lap around, Robbie Stapleford did a 2-minute flat with George doing 2-minute 0.9. So he took 9 seconds out of Robbie, and George just needs to focus on doing what he's doing. What he doesn't want to do is look in the mirror and see Robbie coming. He wants to focus on himself. As soon as you start looking, you'll start driving defensively. Even subconsciously, you'll be thinking about it. As Damien and Jacob touch there, and that puts Jacob into a spin, and Damien loses a lot of time, and Luke, I think, has made contact as well. He has, unfortunately. That's knocked Jacob off, probably giving Jacob a lot of damage as Marcel takes avoiding action as well. That's such a shame. There was close racing there, but that's the problem you see with different lines, these types of corners. Drivers aren't necessarily always expecting drivers to put the cars where it is. So the gap seems to have settled down now. Robbie Stapleford set the fastest lap of the race last lap, so actually took 1.2 seconds out of George. George did a 2-minute 0.1, so George is slowing as well as Robbie catching him up. So George's fastest lap there would have put him about 6th in the timing last lap around. So George needs to focus on his fastest lap. He's got half a lap to go. This will be George's best position. He was nicknamed Mr. Third Place by me at the start of the season after having third place out of out of the first 3 or the 4th round. So he's dropped back at Brands. Wasn't his greatest round there, but a race win here will be fantastic for him. Robbie Stapleford has got the gap down to 2 seconds, and it's closing. There's just a few corners left, and Jeremy as well has solidified his 3rd position. I know he's disappointed after the race 1. That he felt he could have done a little bit better from his 4th position. Damien, I think he'll be disappointed as well. He managed to claw it up into, could have got 6th, but unfortunately contact with Jacob has solidified his 7th position there as well. So we're following George here. The last few corners, he's only got 1 corner to go. The gap from Robbie, he'll see Robbie in his mirror, but as long as he takes his braking line and drives nice and cautiously through here, gets a good run, doesn't run wide coming out here, he'll take his first win of the season. Robbie Stapleford will come across his 2nd position. Jeremy as well will come to his position, 2nd best position of the season. So George Grundon takes the checker flag for the first win of his season. Robbie Stapleford in 2nd position. Jeremy in 3rd. Alex in 4th place. Alex did get ahead of Ricardo in the end there, as we saw that battle going on. Maximilian crosses the line in 6th. A disappointed Damien will cross the line in 7th. Luke Weston in the background there, coming through in 8th position. Marcel Cruz in 9th. Jacob after his battered car. You can see his car squirming across the track. That's not him celebrating. That's the damage that he'll have. He'll have a bent steering position, so that wheel will not be straight. As you can see, the car will be pulling right, and he's got to counteract it left, unfortunately. Mick Sutton again. It looks like he's got into some drama. Well, we saw him get into drama early on. And unfortunately hasn't been able to recover and crosses the line as the last finisher in 11th position, with Reza DNFing after contact we saw with Damien earlier on. So let's have a word with our race winner, George. Hi George, congratulations, first win of the season for you. How was that race? It looked like it was quite comfortable after you managed to get out in front.
It may have looked comfortable, but my seat's telling me otherwise. No, that felt great. The first race, bit of a shame, but came back strong with 6th or 5th, I think. But yeah, a strong finish in that race. Felt really good. Glad Robbie got held up, and
yes, we could
to an end.
We saw him closing in at the end there, but you built up over that first half of the race quite a comfortable lead. So we saw him coming towards the end, but as long as you stuck with what you did, we thought you could keep that race win. So congratulations to that. As you say, it makes up for race 1, and that's sort of the benefit of the reverse grid. So that's your best position of the season. What's your views of the rest of the season for you? Do you expect any more race wins?
It would be nice. It would be very nice. I think the top 10 in championship points would like to win. But realistically, top 5s, couple podiums would be nice. But yeah, always going for the win.
Hi there, Robbie. Very interesting race for you. How we saw you getting involved earlier on and getting caught up with a good old battle there. So it was great. It was great to watch on the stream, but a little bit frustrating for you there.
Yeah, great battle with Jeremy towards the end. Unfortunate, I couldn't get by him a bit quicker because I think I could have probably caught George, and then we could have had a battle for first. But yeah, really good race. Really glad that I got through from 12th, I think it was the back of the grid, was it?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah, good thing I got through from there, and second's a good place to finish and just keep on extending my championship lead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Alex was in second position, so he finished in fourth. So, but you had a good battle with Jeremy there as well. It took you a few laps to get past him, and he wasn't making it easy for you.
Yeah, he weren't making it easy at all. Every time I overtook him, he'll find a way to get it back. So, the time I got it, I just had to stop it on the apex and make sure he couldn't get around the outside or on the inside. And yeah, luckily I just got away towards the end.
Brilliant. That was good racing from everyone, and it was nice and clean as well. So well done, and yeah, you extend your championship lead with another fastest lap as well.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
Cheers. So we'll just grab Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. I know you was a little bit disappointed from race 1, so a podium in race 2 must make up for it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. That was one crazy race there just now with Robbie. I mean, there was nothing more I had in defending there. That was it. I gave it my all, and I was hoping to keep him behind me at least for a couple more laps. But yeah, he just had too much pace. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was some great racing, and it was very good to see that you wasn't gonna hand that position to him, and you had some great battling going into turn 1. So it was fantastic to watch, and it helped George get away with the winner as well.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats to George. I mean, he drove very, very well, and I know he had a pretty rough first race as well. But yeah, he put it out front, and he just kept it there. So hats off to him. I think if I didn't have the battle, I would have been able to close out the gap to him a little bit. I think we were on pretty similar pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I'm still happy with my third place.
So you've the last run. So you've had a second, 2 fourths, and a third. So some great positions here for you. What's your aims for the rest of the season? We're on the home straight now.
Yeah, I just want to try and keep it within the top 3, top 4. See if I can try and make up some points. I don't think it's going to be possible to catch Robbie by the end of the season. But at least be able to try and put it on the podium and the points by the end. That's the game. That's the aim of the game.
Yep. Well, fantastic racing, and well done, Jeremy.
Very much.